Thank you, Subi sir. A very good evening to our respected chairman, our CEO, our Dean of Education, and all my dear colleagues and wonderful students and the parents. This is our third round of webinar where we are educating our students on making the right choice at the right time in their life. It is indeed important for them. They are on the threshold of choosing the right path. Okay, so when you're at this threshold, it is very important for you all to know what is right, what is appropriate. This is not merely a promotion of Rockwood's, but it is indeed a strong guide for all students to take the right step at the right time. So it is at the turning point of your life, dear children, that we want you to take the most appropriate decision after deliberating a lot. So let me go on to introduce to you our panelists and our staff members. But before that, the webinar for today would go like this. We would be beginning with an introduction that's by myself, and also the unique features of our school and the courses that we offer. We have Miss Anjali Rasadan, our Dean of Education, who will be taking up the science of learning 21st century, how pedagogy can address new learning needs at Rockwood's. Then we have our chairman, Mr. Ramanaidu, who will be talking about Rockwood's approach to competitive exams. And then Mr. Subramaniam will be giving a comparative chart. We are not trying to, say that this is the only thing, but these are all the offerings that we give. Look at this, look at others, and make the most, what I should say, wise decisions of your life. And then we have a question answer session, which is moderated by Sai Sataki ma'am, our vice principal. Okay, so let me start off by introducing our team. Now, our team is headed by our chairman, Mr. Ramanaidu, who is a BTech in NITW. He has done his PGCBM from XLRI, his PG Max course from Indian School of Business, his LLB, and he is a life skills coach, an expert in competitive exams, and he believes in personalized coaching. He believes that if you motivate the children in the right manner, give them the right inputs, there is no way that any student can fail. So he always says that the student who is with us at Rockwood's would be guaranteed, the seat in any of the competitive exams the student chooses to go. Then we have our CEO, Mr. Subramaniam, also a BTech from NITW. He's also an MA in education. He is a subject matter expert in physics and chemistry. He is our CEO. He is also a teacher par excellence, and he believes a lot in motivating the students. In fact, the students who are with us can vouch for it that he is a great motivator and a great friend, philosopher, and guide to every student. And then we have myself. I am the principal of this school, heading schools for 29 years now, and I believe in the positive side of each and every student. And I believe that every student can succeed. There is no question of failure for any student. and I guide the students in competitive exams, and I also guide them in various other aspects of their life. Okay, and uh, be it admissions into universities and various other things. So that is myself. And then we have Miss Anjali Rasadan, who has 40 plus years of experience. She's the Dean of Education in our school, and she guides our senior secondary school. She's a mentor for the teachers and helps them put their lessons in the right perspective. Her previous assignment, where she was the principal of Obel Reddy Public School, which had close to 1,000 students in senior secondary, she ably guided her students to perform and give their best. And then we have our fantastic team of teachers. Mr. Venkatrao, who is our math faculty. He has 13 plus years of experience in teaching 11th and 12th, and he also believes in coaching students extensively for IIT, JEE, and MSET. Then we have Miss Meena Pandey, who is an MSc MEd, a chemistry faculty, 23 plus years of experience in teaching grades 11 and 12 in Delhi, along with NEET and IIT JEE coaching. We have Mr. Ranjit, who's an MSc B.Ed, and he has 4 plus years. He's a graduate of a Regional Institute of Education, which is like an IIT for school, level teacher training institutes. And then we have our vice principal, Ms. Sai Satyaki, who is an MSc in microbiology, MSc in chemistry, MA in English literature, and an LLB. She is a biology faculty, and she's the vice principal of our school. She has 23 plus years of experience in teaching as well as heading Fiji, Vignan, and Meridian schools, and for the senior secondary again. We have Ms. Shiba Diana, who is an MSc Zoology and B.Ed. She is our zoology faculty and headmistress, and she has been with Rockwood since inception. She has vast experience in NEET, in coaching for the NEET Foundation, and also holding leadership positions. Then we have Ms. Y. Sirisha, who is an MCom, MA, and B.Ed, who is a Commerce and Economics faculty. She has 20 plus years of experience teaching senior secondary in Maldives, Africa, and as well as in Hyderabad. She believes in the art of teaching and the art of assisting discovery. And then we have Major Retired Rashmi Prakash, who is an MA in English, B.Ed, CTET, CSP. She is our English faculty, having 8 plus years experience in teaching English at Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, for grades 11 and 12. We also have with us our primary head and our school counselor, Ms. Satya Swami, who has 21 plus years of experience in leadership positions in various international schools. And she is an experienced counselor, and she is also an expert in early childhood education. Now, this is our staff. Let me brief you a little about our unique features of our school. The first and foremost of them being that we are not just a normal school. You'll find that there are a lot of attributes which are very, very unique to our school. The first and foremost being our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is not just a box consisting of classrooms which have no other facilities, okay, other than just the the matchbox type classrooms. It's not like that. We have an extensive, it's a vast area of 5 acres of land, well developed, having a basketball court, a swimming pool, a football ground, a cricket ground, a tennis court, a badminton court, a volleyball court, and a coco arena, and so on. So it's a beautiful infrastructure that we have, and we are very proud of it. Okay, that is our sporting facilities. When it comes to internal class facilities, I will explain a little more about it. Ours is a co-educational school. It's a day cum boarding school, K-12, which means nursery to grade 12. And what makes our school stand out? Well, we have, as I introduced to you, a committed and highly talented management who are in this field with their passion and vision to make a generational impact on the students of the students who are studying in our school. We have school professional leaders who are stalwarts in the field. We have each one of us, whether it is the leaders or the teachers, we have extensive experience. So although the school is new, the people working here are real stalwarts, I should say. We have dedicated, experienced, and qualified teachers with us. Our environment is 100% safe, right from the gate to every single classroom, how it is positioned and placed, how we have all the entire school is CCTV enabled, and the entire school has fire safety completely in its place. When it comes to the health and hygiene, every classroom is sanitized, every washroom is maintained neatly. The school has its own RO plant where the water is 100% safe. And it's a very serene and calm environment. So we are, as we said, a day cum boarding school. We have facilities of students who can go back home in the weekend. So we are also got what we call as weekday boarding and a continuous boarding also. These are about the facilities that we offer in our school. Okay, well, now coming to what subjects we give. Well, we give almost 3 to 4 combination of subjects. We have science with mathematics, where we have physics, chemistry, and mathematics, what we call as the PCM. English is the language, and in CBSE schools, there is no other second language, unlike the state board schools. Then we offer as a 5th subject, health and physical education, so that the children get de-stressed. They are not confined to their classes, but they have at least one period where they come outside and they de-stress themselves. Well, added to this, we also have our IIT JEE coaching, which is an integral part. There are no additional costs or charges for this. It is integrated into the school fee itself. Okay, it's given to all the students. However, if there is a student who doesn't want to take it, he or she has an option of not opting for it also. Okay, then we have science with the biology, which will help students for the NEET foundation. We have physics, chemistry, and biology. English and health and physical education are common. Then we have integrated NEET coaching. Okay, both for IIT, JEE, and NEET coaching, there is a guarantee that every student would get through in the competitive exam and get into good colleges. That is our 100% assurance for the students. Okay, further on, we also have our students for commerce. Okay, we have commerce with mathematics. In CBSE schools, we don't call it commerce, but we say accountancy, business studies, and mathematics. So there is one stream being offered with mathematics, which is called M, A, B, and M. Okay, which is, unlike in state board where they call commerce. So many of the state board schools call it as CEC. We don't have that. We have math, business studies, and accountancy. For these students, there is an added CA foundation coaching which happens for them. Again, integrated. Okay, but again, optional too. Then we also offer CLAT coaching, which we do in alliance with another organization. So students who are taking this, there will be an additional cost. But all the other courses, there are no extra costs. It is integrated into the school cost itself. Then we have commerce without mathematics. Okay, where we offer accountancy, business studies, and economics. Okay, here again, CA foundation is being given and CLAT coaching with an external organization is also being given. And then that is about the courses that we offer. Dear students, I hope, because every day I keep hearing, what are the courses we are offering? What are we giving? So I hope students who are attending this have some clarity on the kind of courses we are offering and our facilities and our faculty members. Okay, so my people who are calling, they constantly call in me and ask me, ma'am, they want to know what are the courses we are offering. I said, let's have another round of webinar where we educate people on what we are offering and what we are keeping. Okay, now I request Anjali Rasadan ma'am, our Dean of Education, to take on and give you more information on the science of learning 21st century skills. Over to you, Anjali ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am Lalitha. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Are you there, sleeping or awake? Good. I can see a good number of kids, I think, and also more, possibly your parents, but very importantly, are here. And trust me, we are going to give you a best time right now. We're going to give you a lot of things which matter a lot in your decisions, and you have to be very quick about making decisions. Like the ma'am gave you a huge framework of what we are offering and how we are offering. Now I'm going to tell you what is the latest buzz in education. That's to do with 21st century learning skills. You all are 21st century children, aren't you? You all are not the 18th or the 19th or the 20th century that we are. So you children are definitely needing a different kind of approach to the teaching learning. You will not need the old-fashioned approach, because that is going to make you boring. That's going to make you not understand, and ultimately leads to a lot of rote learning. So I'm going to give you some little mantras, which are not just mantras for success, but these mantras are exercised in Rockwood International School. Trust me, and I can vouch for them here. So here I go. I got 8 mantras to offer to you today, which are, this is the science of learning. The learning also is a scientific process, and pedagogy is the way it's been delivered. So we're going to tell you about that. What are the latest things and how it's going to be delivered in Rockwoods International School. So I go to the first one. So I would like you to put the first one called makes it relevant. There is a lot of relevance required nowadays in education. No matter what we do, no matter how we teach, no matter the best schools around you might find internationally and nationally, unless and until that particular teaching is not relevant to your real life, to other situations, it will amount to rote learning, right? And rote learning amounts to getting absolutely bored, because that is not the way of 21st century learning. So a teacher will teach you relevance of, the factual matters. It will also make the subject interesting, because once it's relevant, it becomes interesting, both for the teacher who's teaching you and for the student who is learning. Trust me, it becomes very, very interesting, and very, very, feel free, that freeness comes about, and therefore it becomes more effective in its approach. The other point which goes with our learning is, it will teach you through disciplines. Not discipline, not to stand in a straight line, finger on your lips and walk straight. This is not the meaning of this discipline here. Here, the discipline means the various interconnected portions of your teaching and learning. Like the ma'am just now told you, you have got 5 subjects to learn in your 11th grade and the 12th grade, right? And the 5 subjects, you must be wondering, why do I need 5 subjects? Why do you need it? Don't you think one subject should be enough? If you want to do medicine, go and do biology, that's enough. If you want to do engineering, do a little bit of physics, that's enough. But why are we also having other subjects in our approach? This why is not taught anywhere else. This why is a very important factor, that why do we need interdisciplinary approach? You will find that very subtly, a teacher has to nowadays, in 21st century learning, a teacher has to subtly tell you the connections between the subjects. And there are deep connections between all the subjects that you're learning. You'll understand only when you grow old later on, like we do. Now I'm understanding, why did I study so many subjects? But my time is already gone. But in your case, you're lucky children, because those connections will be, taught side by side to your normal learning through the relevance and then the connection. So this discipline here means a subject, a kind of a compartmentalized area which is taught to you. One is called this, one is called that. This is called discipline here. So how do you get discipline? Familiar with a new discipline, you have a new skill. For example, you learn mathematics with one skill, and you learn, let's say, accountancy with another skill. The skills are different. Unless and until there is no relevance, and until there is no connection, the skills are not known. You just go on to only one rote learning method again. So this connections subtly will also happen as we teach you through the various disciplines that you are having, 5 of them. Another point, sir, the third mantra. Simultaneously, it will develop your lower and higher order thinking skills. You're grown up all by using the words hots. Sometimes just as a joke, sometimes the teacher calls it as hot. This is a hot question. It is not hot, it is hots. Why? What is hots? Higher order thinking skills. There's an S there, which makes it plural form of hot. All right. So what is higher order thinking skills? What is this? This is that is a very lower order thinking skill. It's a very memorized question method. But in order to get into the higher order thinking skill, is not a simple task, let me tell you. The teachers will have to take you through a big rigmarole of telling you the left, the right, the front, the back, and then they reach to the point. Once that is done, your lateral learning skills are enhanced. What do you mean by lateral learning skills? For learning one thing, 21st century demands that you have to learn 4 more things. Forgetting that one thing. So when you learn 4 more things, that's lateral learning. And trust me, these 4 more things comes to you when you crack these entrance examinations. How do you get that? When you crack an entrance examination, they say they're getting, all the questions are very tough. What is the meaning of tough? Here, they will tell you the meaning of tough through these simple words called higher order thinking skills, lower order thinking skills, and the connection between the two. So generally, it is perceived that everybody teaches very easy way, very easy. If you go to many of these so-called Chaitanya Narayanas, very easy. What is this? This is that. You'll cram it up. You'll cram it up so efficiently that you'll vomit up in the examination. But if the question there is of a higher order thinking skill, which is a little twisted, gone. You might say, I don't know. So you have to have lateral learning skills into your teaching learning methodology in order to get on to answering those, because little twist will be very, very known to you because it's already taught to you. So this is the meaning of developing the lower order skills with the higher order thinking skills and bridging the gap in between them. And this is again a 21st century mantra for success, and Rockwood International School is subtly doing that in their teaching learning classes. Another one, sir. encourages transfer of learning. Fantastic. The word itself is very clear. What is transfer of learning? Many times, in fact, 90% of the times, I'm saying 90%, leaving the 10% alone, 90% of the time, the teacher teaches, but there's no transfer. What do you mean by that? Now, in the 11th grade, in the 12th grade, you need to understand. It's not that a teacher will just teach, finish a portion, curriculum over, maybe make you practice and practice and practice, and at the end of the day, no. By transfer, it means they will ensure whether it has transferred to you, whether the knowledge has got transferred to you, and whether then you, along with the HOTS, along with the multidisciplinary approach, whether are you able to attend to twisted questions, whether you are able to understand, knowledge or questions which are not the usual or written in the book types, you see. So this is a pedagogy. It is basically a methodology, which is again the 21st century method of teaching learning. And again, gone are the days when it was straight learning and straight answering is all gone. And let me tell you with this, children, it's basically to the children here. 12 standard examinations are also cancelled. Did you all hear the news? Yes, they are also cancelled. So a lot of unprecedented things are going on in the world. Unprecedented things are going on in our society, and our entire environment and society changes with these unprecedented things. We have to change. They say change is the only constant which is in life. Nothing else is constant. Change is the only constant. So we'll keep on changing in our approach, in our learning styles as well. It's not only give, the teacher is going to give you, but it's also take, how are you going to take it? So if the school will intend to make you the take ready child as well as a give ready child. And it's going to fill you up with, I would say, not only academic matters, but a lot of other areas which is going to desaturate the child. If you keep on learning academics from morning to evening, it's not going to make you smart. Research says all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We have learned about this lovely quote. So it's not that you're going to play around, but yes, you need a lot of approaches to that you can get desaturated. And when you're desaturated, again, you learn a lot. And this time the learning is much more effective and beneficial. So that's the meaning of teaching, the transfer of learning. Now, this is a wonderful one. The fifth point, teachers, students to learn how to learn. Oh, wonderful. I love this. Learning how to learn. Do you know how to learn? I don't know whether you can answer me. You can answer in your chats there. How do you learn? By sitting with a book and rote learning, mugging it up? Not at all. Unless and until you don't have conceptual knowledge, unless it doesn't sink in, unless your brain doesn't process that you actually learn. So learning to learn is again a very, very important process, a mantra. A lot of people learn. Have you seen, let me give you a very good example. It's a very, very, very famous examples of that as well. There are two students. One is a student who listens to music, goes around, looks at the television, studies, but not immersed into that, does everything. And the other one is the one who is engrossed in books, at least for 7 to 8 hours in a day. Whether the book is upside down is immaterial, but is in the book and is studying. And the parents are also saying the boy is studying very much. At the end of the exams, this one gets something like 92, 93%. This one gets something like 60s, maybe, at the most. What is the difference? Both have the same brain. Both have the same teacher. Both are the same age. What is the difference? The difference is this child is learned how to learn, and this child is not learned how to learn. Matter is the same. So not only is a giver giving you in a processed manner the material, but also you have to receive it in the processed manner to take it and apply it in today's 21st century scenario. The JEEs, the NEETs are not going to be just the same. They will also change with the times, because with the changing of their times, their levels will rise to 21st century learning. And the national education policy now is saying, well, it's going to be concept-based learning. It's going to be conceptual knowledge. It's going to be experiential knowledge. That's what the transactions will be of the future. And learning how to learn will be a very, very important part in our process of disseminating education. addresses misunderstanding directly or through remedials. What is misunderstandings? Many times, we have doubts. And many times in these so-called fantastic colleges that you intend to, think of, or even the parents intend to think that if you put them in these washing machines, they're going to really get into the grades of engineering or medical. The fact is that if a child is slightly average or a little below average, or there is one doubt, trust me, the doubt clearance method is a very important thing in a child's life. Children are sometimes silent by nature. Children are sometimes not the ones who are boisterous enough to ask questions. They may not ask, but that creates a little misunderstanding of the concept in them. So therefore, they don't ask, because if they're going to ask, they're going to be snapped. They're going to be snapped. When they're going to be snapped, the second time they will never ask. The result is it becomes a big ball of question marks in their head. If one is not answered, the second is snapped, the third one I don't want to ask, the fourth and fifth and sixth goes, I don't care. I don't care. That is the attitude the child develops, So what happens is, if the misunderstandings are there and then taken up by your faculty and there and then cleared, it can be through a remedial method, which means going in the other way and understanding the one-to-one clearance, or going even to check for understanding. Checking for understanding is not an easy process again. When a classroom is full of kids, maybe many kids, maybe some kids, there's a scientific way that we can check for understanding. Have we understood? Even right now, if you're I can't see you on the screens, but suppose you are on the screens and suppose you're in the classroom, a very good teacher is the one who sees the look of the faces and understands whether you have understood or not. Just your look is enough for an experienced teacher to understand whether you have understood, and then fill up the gaps if there are any. So this is what we mean by addressing misunderstandings, and it's very, very important that this concept is, I would wish that all the schools apply this, but this is not easy to check for understanding, and that's why experienced people are required to do this. And we have third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. The second last point mantra is make full use of technology and support learning. What is that? Right now, what you're seeing is technology. I mean, mind-boggling. Who better than you children, born in the 21st century? You are the millennials. Do you know what is a millennial, children? All of you are millennials. And millennials are those people who are born in 2000 and thereafter. In the year 2000, and thereafter, you're millennials. You understand? And poor people like us are born in the 19th something. Do you understand? So the difference is that the millennials have a different mindset. Their mind is wired differently. Their behavior is differently, and it needs to be understood. Because if you're not understanding the millennials, mindset, then I guess I don't know how we are teaching them. We're teaching them with the old mindset then. So we have to be contemporary, and one of the best things is technology. I can very proudly tell you, children, girls and boys, and of course parents, that Rockwood International School is one of the best and the finest in technology, in the usage of the give and take between the teacher, the tools and the techniques. Day in and day out, every teacher is getting on to honing their skills, and it is so advanced, it's unimaginable. And I am saying it because I thought I was very great in technology until I found what exactly is happening here. So it is an amazing system here in Rockwood. You have experienced that to know how technology is effectively being used in all these mantras, the first to the 7 mantras, how it's being used to get the point across. And that's what matters in the end. You want to give it a try for a career, don't you? You want to get good marks, don't you? What is the way? These are the ways you have to check. This school, any school, check for these points, whether the schools or the colleges have these. And I think the full and the last point, very important mantra, is it fosters creativity versus rote learning. This is very close to my heart. I hate rote learning and I love creativity. And I'm sure all of you do that. Creativity is something which is present in all of us. Let me tell you that, girls and boys. It's present in all of us. Degrees vary. There will be somebody very high, very low, but it is there. So it is the job of the teacher, how the teacher scratches that creativity out of wherever it's hidden in you and brings it out. Let me tell you, in today's job scenario, in today's careers, in today's world, if you're not creative, then you are called a mediocre. And mediocrity has no role in today's world. Let me tell you that, because you are 21st century kids. Today, if we have to ask you to design something in the tech tools, you're going to do it so beautifully, much better than any of us. Why? Because your creativity is running with the flow of times, and therefore creativity is what you require. Creativity is also what you require, how you require to open up your subjects. You require that, and that's how it's going to be given. It will not be given in the usual take this down and repeat it and rote learn it and then vomit it out. If you do that, you can do that. In some subjects, repeating and memorization is required. I'm not saying no, but by and large, until that concept is not gone into your mind, into your headset, it will not be effective. And one last thing I can talk about rote learning, how effective it is. Today, if all of us are here, your mummies, your daddies, your brothers, sisters who are elder than you, ask them, what do they remember of their 10th standard, 12th standard, your graduation, if they are postgraduates, if they are, ask them, do they remember even one thing? No, what you remember, is if you have learned cycling. Okay, if you have learned cycling in your childhood and after 30 years, you become an old person and then you sit on the cycle, you might fall for 1 minute, but in the second minute, you will catch up. You will never forget cycling. If you learn swimming, you are, after 30 years, you are gone to the pool, you first feel a little scared. But once you're in the pool, automatically your legs and hands will, beat the water and you're swimming. What is it meaning? It means that any skill taught with conceptual knowledge which gone inside you will never be forgotten. Any skill which is pushed inside you definitely is bound to be there, vomit and gone with the wind. So conceptual knowledge, creativity versus rote learning fosters the students in order to, one, creativity leads to more creativity and to success. This is the last mantra that I could think of that is existing in the 21st century, the science of learning. The science is a beautiful word because it is not randomly taught, but it is scientifically taught, and it's scientifically proceeding in those lines. Somebody is asking, is your hostel having AC? Now, how has that to do with science here and with the pedagogy here? Your questions will be answered, don't worry, sir. It has AC, it has everything best. But first you worry about how are you going to learn? How are you going to then become successful? That is more important than whether the AC is there or not. So I hope this was a small little step in my direction to tell you what 21st century scientific learning is all about. I'm sure you'll have questions at the end. Please reserve them and we will address it to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. Thank you very much. It's indeed been very highly enlightening. And I now, and well, just to answer quickly the question, do you have AC? Yes, we do. In our dormitories, all our dormitories are completely air conditioned. Okay, that is just to give you the information, quick information. Well, it's wonderful. I think, we have Anjali ma'am, who has given a complete insight of how students need to learn and how they need to prepare themselves. Well, to give us more inputs about competitive exams and how we approach the competitive exams, I request our chairman, Mr. Ramanaidu, to throw more light on it. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Lalita ma'am and Anjali ma'am spoke about how Rockfoods is going to help your children to perform best in their intermediate education. Now, I would like to talk about how a child has to prepare for competitive exams. Either it is in Rockfoods or the child is going to some other colleges, and how to take a decision where to join your kid. This talk will help you about to take wise decisions. It also help you about if you are confused with multiple choices, multiple options, multiple offers given by different colleges. I should be able to give you little guidance how you can take a decision joining your kids in any of the colleges, right? So it's not about trying to sell Rockwoods as a college or a school. It's all about how you should really think about your child next 2 years education has to be. So without wasting much of my time, let me go through. I'll be talking about maximum 6 points. These are 6 points are very much important to help your students prepare for competitive exams. And in fact, not only the competitive exams which are going to write after intermediate, these steps are going to help your child to prepare for any competitive exams later point of time. If your child is preparing for UPS exams, or if your child is trying for GMAT or CAT or IELTS, any competitive exams, they need to follow these 6 steps with focus and also complete clarity on conceptual understanding. So we can go ahead. Yeah. So first of all, for intermediate competitive exams, there are 2 to 3 competitive exams everyone has to write to pursue their education in either IITs or NITs or different medical colleges or best institutes across the India. First of all the competitive exams will be based on NCERT syllabus. The child is going to write exam based on NCERT syllabus. The most important thing all of us should keep in mind is firm grounding of concepts from NCERT books is mandatory. And even the child would like to compete and also prepare for civil services or any other national level competitive exams, the most important conceptual understanding should be from NCERT books. Hence, if the parents are willing to prepare their children for IIT JEE or NEET or CA foundation courses or CLAT, the children's understanding of the different topics in NCERT books is mandatory, as these books are given weightage of 60 to 70% of questions will be from these NCERT textbooks in all these competitive exams. Hence, I request and also ask the students, think about if you are going to join your kid in state board colleges, the child has studied 2 syllabuses. One is NCERT syllabus, second one is state board syllabus to perform best in its intermediate score. So you are trying to put unwanted pressure, unnecessary pressure on the child to prepare NCERT book for competitive exams, IIT, JEE and NEET, and to prepare the children for state intermediate board exams for state books. So that's way we are trying to duplicate or trying to do same kind of work on different tracks. A school or a college, a teacher should create curiosity and also create curious mindset in the minds of the children, so that child will question every theory what he learns. The way we just by heart or learn some topics up to grade 10, something like either Newton's laws or any other laws of motion, you will not be tested for your memory related skills, or you will not be asked any long answers to write pages of pages answers. Rather than you will be tested how a particular theory will be used in applications. For example, if every child can learn about Newton's 3 laws so easily, just there are 3 statements, but the difficult part is how to use those 3 laws in his day-to-day life, where all he is observing these things, and problems will be asked or questions will be posed based on these underlying theories. So the school or teacher or college should help the children to create awareness and encourage the children to ask multiple questions on the same theory, how these questions are going to be asked in the competitive exams. That kind of mindset will help the children to thoroughly prepare very well and also answer any twisted questions which are going to come in the competitive exams. These first two topics, conceptual understanding of NCERT books and curious mindset to question every theory, will give a chance to score 60 to 70% marks in your competitive exams, either NEET or IIT JEE. That means if NEET score is for 720, children easily can score 500 above if children are good at their base textbook, that is NCERT book. If children are good at solving problems based on particular theory or concept is learning. The second, third, the most important learning a child should do is how to solve in different ways same problems. That means multiple solutions. There are some easy tips and tricks to solve some problem. There is entire derivation, child should learn how to do it. For example, just to give you simple idea of a plus b one square, a plus b whole square formulae, maybe you can do, if I give 99 plus 1 whole square, I can directly do 100 square, or I can do a plus b 1 whole square. There are two different ways we are trying to teach how to solve this problem. So children should be given an opportunity. Children should be encouraged to solve every question at least 2 or 3 different ways to solve the problem. Some of you may think it's waste of time. No, you are not trying to help your children to write exam tomorrow. You are preparing your child to write exam after 2 years. You have solid 2 years of time. That means almost we have 720 days of time to compete and prepare for the exams, right? When you have so much of time, allow your children to deep dive into a particular topic, solve each question different way, appreciate the child, each child, and find an accountability partner in each classroom. If A is having accountability partner B, let A should explain one methodology to solve a particular problem. Let B tell A back again another methodology. That way, what would happen is we are trying to help your child. Subconscious mind is trying to learn how to solve this problem, or so that you are trying to deep dive into particular concept. So this is the most important strategy, children. You need to learn, try to spend more amount of time instead of solving 100 questions with one solution. Only solve 30 questions in a particular topic, but try to solve 3 different ways, 4 different ways. Try to use the derivation, try to use the formulae, try to use the different derivation. That will give you grounding. That will give you platform for you to think beyond the box, so that you can achieve and accomplish the result. You also will not pressurize before the exam, as you may feel tense that you may forget some of the formulas. Though you forget formulae, you can solve the problems using your clarity and clear understanding of derivation. When I was having discussions with grade 10 students in the morning walk time, many students were complaining about, sir, I'm unable to remember the formulae when I try to solve the question in the exam. Obviously, when you by heart physics, maths, chemistry, 3 subjects and hundreds of problems, you can't solve it. Problems can only be solved clear understanding, and also you should know the derivation. That is the crux of it. When you solve the particular problem using derivation with 3-4 approaches, you should be able to find shortcut on your own. Every problem can have shortcut. The most and important thing for all of us is revision strategies. Children, since you have to study almost 15 to 16 chapters in each year, in each subject, revision strategy is very much important. Let us plan incremental revision strategy. If you complete your 1 chapter for a week, at end of the week, at least spend 3 to 4 hours of time on a particular chapter. Try to write short notes, try to solve important questions in the reference books rather than in the base book, that is NCERT book or your regular study material which you are going to use. If at Rockwood's, we are going to use MTG study material, and also we are going to use Next learning platform. There you may have options of selecting different practice problems so that you are trying to revise your entire concept based on different textbook that give you base to perform the best in the exam. Yeah. The most important thing is how to train your students efficiently. Many of you are thinking that preparing the children morning 5 o'clock to night 9 o'clock, preparing them to prepare for 13 to 14 hours, they'll do the best. No. Any human being is having capacity to can focus on any work. Take from topmost personality to average performer, they can focus maximum 9 to 10 hours of time. When they have ability to focus efficiently for these 9 to 10 hours of time, I want every one of you to really think about how to make them more effective the given time rather than making to sit for 10 to 14 hours. Let the children spend little amount of time, 30 to 40 minutes in the morning exercises, and also have very healthy diet, and also try to allow him to spend little amount of time on his mind and also his brain so that he can aware of it. We are trying to help him to self-aware how efficiently he is doing. Even he doesn't sit for 4 or 5 hours together, it's fine. Once he sit for one study hour, we should habituate him to sit at least for 45 to 50 minutes, constantly focusing on one topic at a time, trying to deliver maximum out of the particular topic, so that another 5-10 minutes you can take short break and drink plenty of water, eat very good protein food which is easily can digestible. So that way, what you are helping your children to manage time efficiently. When they plan to prepare for a particular topic, if you select a kinematics topic to prepare for 30 to 40 minutes or 3 to 4 hours, let him stay focused on it. This is very much important to not to allow the stress on the children mind, and children also will not become burdened or bored on particular topics. The last but not least, all of us should encourage the children to write multiple tests, because after each test we should allow the children to discuss about those questions with students or teachers. That will give them clear clarity where they are doing mistake, how each child is attending the question and how much time is taking. In the mock test, children also will learn how to solve easy questions first and attempt different difficult questions later. We should not require to answer all the questions in the sequence. If you feel that the question will take more than 2 minutes, you should not attempt at the first instance. It is rather attempt all the questions which are going to take less than 1 minute, solve it till at the end, then put the dot mark, put the different identification star mark on that priority of questions when you revisit it. So these mock tests will help your child to prepare well for exams, and also will help you where the child is feeling difficulty. And we should also create a culture. The children should talk about the exam presentation, exam preparation, exam success after the school hours, when they are in the lunch or when they are going out for walk, so that the culture of talking about their success rate in the exam, their performance in the exam, will help them to utilize the time to also learn from others. If I do not solve a problem, if my friend solves the same problem in the lifelong, if my friend explains me, I will not forget. So mock tests are more important. You need to make sure that at least your child write at least one mock test for one subject in a week, at least once. That is the baseline, so that where we can test ourselves. The last point, we are also encouraging children to use different reference books. For example, H.C. Verma books for physics, Taunton books for chemistry. So we are trying to help Tata McGraw books or R.P. Sharma books, different books, so that children, whenever they get time, whenever they find little boring with respective MTG materials or NCERT books, children can go and refer some other book, try to solve one problem, discuss with his friend, so that we are trying to create a culture of learning for the sake of his own understanding, not to impress the teacher, not to impress the parent, not to impress someone else. He is trying to learn for himself, right? Something like this would really help the children to learn with their self-interest rather than burdening on them and throwing them towards depression, trying to make them feel burdened or pressurized. So this kind of, you ask the questions to the colleges, whoever approach you for different kinds of admissions, how is the approach they are going to take it forward? What are the schedules morning to evening? How much time your children are going to spend in the ground? How much breaks are they going to get in the school? And what kind of activities will happen over the lunch? What kind of activity will happen the evening time? Since you are preparing your children for next 60 years of their life, a child in intermediate is almost 15 years old. This guy will prepare for 2 years. After that, he's going to study for another 4 to 5 years. After 4 to 5 years, he has to pursue his career another next 60 years. That means up to this foundation, this learning should help the child to be independent learner and smart learner, so that he has to sail through this age and try to also accommodate his all developments, biological developments, and also his social and emotional balance among the different societies and different families. With this, I think I have given you little insights how to select a college, how to prepare your children for different competitive exams. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I would like to answer at the end.
Thank you very much, Chairman Sir. It was indeed a wonderful insight into preparation for the competitive exams. Dear children, Chairman Sir has been very down to earth, and beautifully he has explained each and every process of preparation. Before we proceed further, I would like to invite one of our alumni, Dr. Lakshmi Priyanka. A little about her, Dr. Lakshmi Priyanka, but there's one introduction which I probably missed informing you all, that our management before starting Rockwoods had almost 25 years back started what was called as the Ranker Schools. Ranker Schools are very famous for the coaching for MSET and for all the medical as well as engineering entrance schools. And one such student, there are hundreds of students who have passed from the Ranker Schools and who are in different important positions in their life today, inspired by both Naidu sir and Subramaniam sir. They are very humble people. They have never ever come out and said that we have got such a large alumni who are so well placed in life, and they have not even tried tracing them, where they are, what they are doing, or anything. But I have one such person here with me, Dr. Lakshmi Priyanka, who is a student of Ranker School, and she will throw a little bit of light on how she prepared, and she has done her medicine from Gandhi Medical College. So that itself stands as a testimony that she procured a free seat in the medical entrance test. Over to you, Lakshmi Priyanka, and thank you so much for honoring and coming over and giving your time to inspire and speak to this young crowd.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Hi, everyone. This is Lakshmi Priyanka. I have completed my MBBS from Gandhi Medical College. Around 8 years back, I was in dilemma, just like you. Where should I join my 11th standard, and what should I take? Which one should I choose? Fortunately, under the guidance of Ramanaidu sir, who is the chairperson of Ranker's group of schools, helped me. Under his guidance and mentorship and my hard work and perseverance, I could get seat in Gandhi Medical College, and shortly I'll be joining my PG. I would like to advise all of you what is that don't get carried away by promises which every institute tell. But make right choices and follow systematic regime to get your seat. I wish you all the best for everyone.
Thank you, Lakshmi Priyanka, Doctor. I have seen you from grade 1 onwards. Now you are a doctor.
Thank you very
Thank
much, Lakshmi Priyanka. Now I would request our CEO, Subramaniam sir, to throw a little bit of light on a comparative study of different colleges preparing with Rockwoods. Now, this again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this again is not to tell you all, but to help you all make the right choice in your life. Okay, so over to you, Subramaniam sir.
Thank you very much, Lalita ma'am and Anjali ma'am and Naidu sir. I didn't realize the time. I was keep listening to you. It was so good to listen to all of you and each of the points. Now let me quickly talk about as a child or as a parent, why should I choose Rockwoods or for that matter, some other colleges that we are talking of. It may be Narayana, it may be Chaitanya, it may be Akash or Fiji, right? So we are trying to bring in little comparative analysis based on the understanding, based on what parents talked about, based on what students talk about, based on all of you have Google, right? We can do search and we can find out all of that, right? I just got only 5 pointers over here given the time limit that we have, but I think there are plenty other things as well, right? First and foremost, very important as a school, what we believe in is personalized attention, right? Here at Rockwoods, be it as a CEO, a chairman, principal, dean, or teachers, we call every child with name. We know where the child is doing really good, where child needs help. When exam is conducted, mistakes do happen, but when we do counseling, we should ensure that that mistake is not going to be repeated. That way, children can understand and then perform better in the competitive exams. And personalized attention is something which we have at Rockwoods. And whereas if we talk about corporate colleges, and if I name few like Narayana, Sri Chaitanya, definitely it is not the case, right? And as far as the number of children in each section, I think at Rockwoods, we are promising 36 children only will be sitting in each of the section. That way, whatever personalized attention that I was talking of, it is assured. Every child's success from the section, from the class is important to us, to each of the parent, right? If I have to give you little time, I think you can take little time and you can search online how many children, like in case of Narayana and Sri Chaitanya, they would keep in each of the section.
I don't know.
Some cases they may even promise you like with jargons and names, something like China batch, something like AIMS 60. Go and search how many children will be sitting in AIMS 60. 60 is not the number of children that they will be sitting in the classroom. It's much more than that. Please check on that. And then as far as infrastructure is concerned, I think Lalita ma'am already talked a lot about that. And we have beautiful infrastructure. Each of our classroom has touchscreen digital board. And we have, computer labs and all that. And with other colleges, you might not even have, computer lab or, computer teacher at all. And as a technology ready, right? And most of you already know, you would have been aware in case of JEE, IIT JEE exam, which is conducted at 2 levels, mains and advanced. Both are being conducted on computers. It's CBT, computer-based testing. More likely, even NEET is going to come onto computers very soon. Meaning, schools, colleges need to be really ready with such kind of infrastructure, such kind of technology with them. That way, children can take the advantage of the technology and prepare from the first year itself so that they don't see anything unknowns during the examination time. So at Rockwood's, that is something we have, and other colleges, I cannot, I don't think we can have something like that. And last one, at Rockwood's, basically we don't label students that you are not performing. We don't demote students to different sections based on the marks. We don't brand children something that you are not good at to be at this batch, right? You need to perform to go into the next section, this section, then only we will allow you, right? We all believe if we spend time with the child can perform. It's a matter of little time. So we don't label children, we don't brand children, we don't create stressful environment, we don't make children feel very low esteem and all that. And with other colleges, with such kind of number of children that they are going to have in each of the section, they do that. Please understand, please check all those facts. Please check with the children. Please look at those campuses. And based on all of these, make a wise choice, right? Now, I think I would like to leave it to Sai Satyaki ma'am to answer few of the questions. There were plenty of questions coming up. And over to you, Satyaki ma'am.
Thank you so much, Subramaniam sir. Dear parents and students, a very warm welcome once again to the Rockwood's webinar about how we are here to take care of your child in a 360 degrees manner. Okay, some of the important questions that have been posed to us in the chat box till now are mostly based on the topics as how we would make the children future ready, how we would be able to help the children take up competitive examinations, how we would be able to give them individual attention. Okay, first taking up the question about individual attention. As it has already been discussed with you, and Subramaniam sir, our CEO sir, has already assured all the parents, we would be having only 36 students per section. MPC or PCM, PCB would be having a max limit of 36 students. Also, the commerce batch would be having only 36 students per section. The teaching methodologies has already been explained to you. They would be teaching from the NCERT textbooks. We would be teaching using technology over the Next Learning platform, and also reference books. Use of complete set of reference books would be done. Okay, all the reference books are available in the library, and also those which are needed exclusively as study material are being provided to students. Coming again, we would like to share one very, very impressive aspect of our curriculum. We have classes for children, whether it's in the online or offline mode, for 5 days in a week. Monday to Friday, teaching learning process happens. Saturday, the day is exclusively given over for remedial classes and revision classes. Over the complete week, the teacher understands the performance of the child. There is one-on-one interaction with the child, and if there is any gap, any minor gap also in the conceptual learning for the child, if the child identifies it themselves, it is wonderful. Else, even if the teacher identifies that a child needs a little more stress on certain areas, that particular remedial would be taken up on Saturday. We have specific time allocated for maths, biology, physics, and chemistry remedial sessions, which would be taken up, and there it will be cleared, so that the doubts or the gaps in the learning are not piled up. This is how we will assure you one-to-one or individual attention to focus on all levels of children. Also, it's a general understanding that we have children whose capability or ability to absorb the subject would be different, right? You might have a child who can, grasp something very fast, somebody who has a mediocre level of grasping. As already promised by Ramanaidu sir, where if a child has got optimal level of understanding and they are focused, they are interested in taking up the subject, and they are focused and they have an intention to achieve. We are here to guide them. We are here to handhold them specifically towards their preparation. And another parent had asked if we are a residential school and what about the details. We are a day-come residential school. Also, if needed, we provide weekend, week residential. That is, a child would be with us from Monday morning to Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, or during the time as and when the parents require the child to be at home, we provide that as well. We are giving these options to ensure that whatever is the need of the child, if a child feels or if a parent feels that a child needs a little more focus or they are getting a little diverted during the regular stay at home, for a short period, they can avail the residential facility. Or in case, the parents are engaged and are too busy and in their own careers or professions, if needed, they can hand over the child to us for a short period of maybe a couple of months or 3 months. We are always there to take care of them. Our chairman, sir, and our principal, ma'am, Lalita Naidu, ma'am, reside on campus. They are there 24/7 for the children, and we assure you that your children are in safe hands. Yeah. There's another question.
Ma'am, there is one specific question which a parent has asked to Anjali, ma'am. How do you
Yes,
make children future ready? If you can direct it to her.
Yes, Anjali, ma'am, this question is directly to you.
How do you make children future ready?
Future ready.
Okay. Lovely question, parent, I must say. Fantastic question. First, I thought I can ask you the counter question for that matter. Question for a question. Parent, how do you make your child future ready? May I ask you? I mean, are there any gadgets involved or are there any techniques involved? Do you give them some more proteins and carbohydrates to make them future ready? No, the answer is a lot of things, parents. Until and unless you are not future ready, until and unless the people surrounding the child are not future ready, which means the home front, the school front, all fronts, they have to be future ready to make the child future ready. Because if at school we are talking futuristic, and if at home you are completely opposite of what the school proposes, whether to do this or to do that. So you have to come, have to be in compliance with a future ready school to get on to the future ready mode. Number one. Number two, you have to be trusting the people that you're putting your child in. If you do not have, you have a trust deficit, trust me, then nothing, no amount of telling anything is going to console you or make you feel that it is correct. You have to trust the experience of people. You have to trust the intention of people in whose custody you're giving your child. And you have to trust it. You have to have these 2 crucial years the child has now in 11th and 12th to get onto the career mode. 2 crucial years, 15 years have just gone through. Now the last 2 crucial years, stop doubting on the trust and start getting it on the right kind of people. And a lot depends on the child also. If you cannot give everything to the child and the child is only going to put it in the mouth and chew it, the child has to learn also how to gather things, cook it, and then put it in the mouth and eat it. That is called future ready. So I do hope it answers your question, parent, but a wonderful question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Thank you so much, Anjali, ma'am. I have Ms. Sheetal Maroju. Ms. Sheetal Maroju, you have raised your hand. Is there something that you would like to personally ask, ma'am? Ms. Sheetal Maroju.
No, ma'am.
Yes, Ms. Sheetal. Tell me. We are here to take your question.
You can take up next question, ma'am. It's all right.
Yeah. There is a question here in the chat window about when we would be starting our sessions and about textbooks. Dear parents and students, we would be starting our session on the 7th of June. Okay, that's coming Monday. And for the question about textbooks, yes, the textbooks are all available in school. Those who have already taken admission or those who are considering taking admission already, please do contact the PRMs at the numbers given in the chat box. Okay, and you can collect your textbooks And of course, for the students who are taking up integrated courses, the study material is also available at school. Please do collect it.
Ma'am, I have a little observation. I saw somebody posing a question saying, if we don't have any technological support, if there are no tools available, how are you going to make the child go through, learning? My answer to that would be, I don't know, it's a very strange question. In today's 21st century, you are saying you have nothing. You just have a notebook and a pencil or a pen, and you want to make the child go into the tech world. The answer is, please invest in some tech gadgets. You have to need that because the child will need it. Even into cracking any of the entrance examinations, they will definitely going to be in the tech mode, unless and until he doesn't know how to use that. And of course, apply it in teaching learning situations in these uncertain times as well. We don't know how long the uncertain times are going to last. You have to get it.
Anjali ma'am, I would just like to add a little to this. I think this comes from a person who, where, the teaching learning also happens only with the book and the pen, and there is no exposure given to the student for computer-based exams or computer-based tests.
Precisely.
So I think this comes from that perspective, where you definitely need to choose a place where CBT is the mode of testing of all the students and not pen and paper alone. Okay. I hope I've answered it.
So invest in, my answer to that parent is invest. You don't buy 2-3 more saris. Don't buy, some chicken mutton for a longer time. Invest in a gadget for the child. That is the biggest investment you can do, because that's what is needed to go forward in life. And just 2 years you have. Use these 2 years very judiciously for the child. One more child I was looking when I was talking to you says, how do I get 90% in my grade 12 to get into qualify for NEET? I saw that right now. Okay, I go back to what I said. There's a boy A, boy A, and a girl B, boy B. One studies 12, 13 hours with a book upside down. Okay, and with a book upside down, studying, but very hard, you see. The other one is studying and playing and listening to music and doing other activities. But when he studies or when she studies, she's completely neck deep into that. And rest of the time, this one gets 92%, this one gets 60%. Now, did you understand? The one who gets 90% doesn't have horns here, doesn't have a tail at the back either. That child is as good as what you are. It is just the how part of it that the child applies these little techniques, which it learns from a good school, which it learns from a good environment, puts that technique.
Exactly, Anjali ma'am, we are here to
applies it, and then applies it. Then the child gets 94, 95%. But the other one is not, every technique is there, but it's not taking in. So that's the difference. I hope the child.
There is a question from a parent to Anjali ma'am that, I am from a state board school and planning to join in a CBSE school. I'm finding difficult whether I would be able to clear my competitive exams.
You're a state board child. Oh, I think all the more reason. Come to CBSE schools. I would say come to Rockwoods International School, the Future Ready School. It has both CBSE and the futuristic mode. And state board is not going to lead you anywhere, because now all the competitive examinations are on a national, they're pan-India level. They're on these national platforms called JEE, and then they call NEET and other things. For them, one appearance in one window, you can get onto thousands of colleges across. You don't have to appear for 1,000 colleges. But in the state mode, you'll have to get into the CBSE mode, because as we said last time, or maybe this time we didn't repeat, every exam on competitive exam around the country is based on NTA, National Testing Agency. NTA's backbone is NCERT. NCERT is the backbone for CBSE. I hope you got the link now. And if it's
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am.
There is
a question here for all of us about NEET.
Yes.
What would be my approach towards NEET? Yes, students who are planning to take up NEET, and this is for their parents as well. As you all know, NEET is an examination which is conducted in the grade 11 and 12 syllabus with biology, physics, chemistry. Okay, 50% of the question paper out of the 720 marks. I mean, the number looks huge, but the questions are only 180, okay? So out of the 180 questions, 50% of the paper is from biology, 25% physics, 25% chemistry. So the best approach towards getting a very good score in NEET, and as already Ramanaidu sir mentioned to all of you, 550 plus score out of 720 is something which is needed to place yourself in a dignified, established, and successful medical college so that you come out as a very, very successful doctor. Okay, so for this, the weightage for biology is a little more than physics, chemistry. However, a child who's able to score very well in physics, chemistry has an edge over the other children who do excellently well in biology. Therefore, our approach and our curriculum towards NEET is designed in such a manner. We will be able to guide you with the examination pattern of teaching and learning so that we will be able to, help you score the best. Okay. And let me tell you, our teaching learning happens in a way that we give maximum weightage to the topics where you can score more. We will be able to give you tips to follow during examination preparation. We will help you with the knowledge-based preparation as well as exam-oriented preparation. So, children, leave it to us. As sir told you, you have 2 years and we are here to guide you for that. There is another question here. Is NEET the only competitive examination? As we see, there is too much of competition. Yes, children. Yes, NEET is the only examination to get into a good medical college. Why not? Why not have too much competition? You people are going to turn into the medical professionals like over the past year plus.
I think, Sai ma'am, this question has come because there is somebody, our students, who is asked me this question sometime back, that ma'am, I have joined in a batch called AIMS 60. So, and that batch is going to change, that college is going to train them for AIMS entrance test. Is there an AIMS entrance test, ma'am? Or is NEET the only?
It was there. Children, earlier, before 2017, there were multiple medical entrance tests which was conducted at by different states for their own medical college. However, from 2017, it has become NEET all over. In 2018-19, for 2 years, we had a separate entrance test for AIMS and a separate entrance test for JIPMER College also. However, going forward, it is just one examination for all medical entrance or for admission into all medical colleges throughout in India. Not just MBBS, NEET is going to determine your admission into BDS, that is Bachelor of Dentistry, and also for the Ayush courses. When I say Ayush courses, it is for Ayurvedic, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. So even if you want to get into the field of homeopathic medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, NEET is your route. Okay?
Wonderful, Sai Satyaki ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anjali ma'am. Thank you, Chairman sir, and thank you, Subramaniam sir, and all dear parents.
Ma'am, some of the parents are asking about fee structures. So be sharing fee structure in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
And there are some discount he's offering. I request everyone to wait for a minute. So be share the fee structure in chat box.
Yes, I just did.
Yeah. So students, whoever is having any questions about fees or any other questions about your children preparation, and also if have any other questions on hostel facility and boarding facility, please reach out the phone number shared by Mr. Subramaniam over the screen, and also you can search internet.